Thank you, Jacob, for having us here. You're going to hear a lot about tobacco for the next 10 or 15 minutes. But as Sam mentioned, this is not your father's tobacco. Our tobacco is completely different, and we're changing it to really improve the world, and we're very excited about that. A lot of people don't realize for the last few decades, tobacco has kind of been the white mouse of plant science. And from that decades of research is where we've come in to develop tobacco as a very cheap, efficient, profitable source, we think, for sugars, oils, proteins, and biochar. And so I'm going to kind of do an overview via a video that we produced so you can visually see it and how we do it. You'll also see two of my colleagues in the video who are here. One is Connor Hartman, who's in the front, and also my co-founder, Dr. Julian Bobe, who's also up there in the front.
Imagine if tobacco were repurposed to protect our planet and replace fossil fuels. Today, there's a quiet revolution taking place. The emerging green chemicals industry is making everyday products from plants instead of petroleum. But the biggest challenge is competing with the economics of oil. This is where Tyton BioEnergy Systems and its energy tobacco can change the game.
Over the last 4 years, we transformed tobacco into a cost-effective source of sugars, proteins, and oils. They can be used to make everything from fuels to plastics to animal feed. We chose tobacco because it grows fast, it grows big, and it grows everywhere. It's the most widely grown non-food crop in the world.
Through molecular biology and selective breeding, our scientists increased sugar production in tobacco by 300% and oil by 200%.
Tyton's growing methods are different from traditional tobacco. Plant density is significantly higher, and harvesting is fully automated. The result? Higher economic returns, and a process that is much better for farmers.
1 acre of our energy tobacco combined with our harvesting and extraction capabilities yield up to 3 times as much sugar as corn and 3 times as much oil as soy.
Tyton's business model is to contract farmers to grow its specialized tobacco. Tyton then converts the harvested material and its proprietary extractor to sugar, oil, protein, and biochar in a clean, economical, and fast process. 100% of the plant is used, producing zero waste. Tyton sells its products to chemical, biofuel, and agricultural customers.
To grow our business strategically and quickly, we leverage the capabilities of our corporate partners like Smithfield Foods, the world's largest pork producer, and a multinational tobacco company that shares our ambition to develop non-smoking uses for the crop.
We have active collaborations with professors at Virginia Tech, Old Dominion, and NC State to further enhance our technology.
We're also very pleased to have a 5-year purchase agreement for our sugar with a partner 55 million gallon ethanol facility.
Our team is proven and we're full steam ahead. Imagine tobacco replacing oil for chemicals and fuel. Tyton is rebranding tobacco for good. We're changing the green chemical industry and giving tobacco a new life for the next 200 years. You heard a lot about some of the challenges involved with the green chemical industry. You heard mentioned right at the outset that there's a demand really coming from multiple places. Consumers are looking for it. A lot of the retailers are looking for green chemicals being used for packaging, for example. And also there's a lot of government policy doing it. And right now, as it is, it's not a trivial market at all. It's a multi-billion-dollar market. However, it could be much larger. And one of the major, I think, hurdles, which we heard in great detail, is the cost of biomass. The biomass is about 80% of your input cost. And really the biomass challenge there, which again you heard a lot about earlier, is really twofold. Not every biomass is the same. So what is the cost of the actual plant matter that you're using? And then it's how do you process it or how do you convert that? And so those are the challenges that we think tobacco is very well suited for a variety of reasons I'll get into to address those. The other, I think, challenge, and you've also heard some of that today, is access to capital. Specifically, when you see petroleum prices so low, I think the appetite to invest in alternatives to petroleum for green chemicals also dwindles. However, a lot of people are still looking at the long-term view. I think a lot of people are also remembering that the best way to cure low commodity prices is low commodity prices. So the way we're addressing this is we're an upstart, as Jacob said, but we've made some very good friends. We work with some major industrial groups like the Roundtable on Sustainable Biomaterials. They're the largest group looking at aviation materials and aviation fuels. We're working with a lot of key partners, as you saw referenced in the video, Smithfield Food being a big one here in North Carolina. And we are looking also at end users for our products, specifically our sugars. So we're very proud of a recent collaboration with Denove, a French company, green chemical company that uses a type of bacteria to convert that to high value chemicals that industry needs. But there's a wide variety of end products that come out of this, anything from automotive car panel doors to Coca-Cola bottles, to even biofuels. So what have been some of our key challenges? Well, one of them is part of our technology is enhancing the tobacco, and there's a lot of, I would say, misinformation out there about GMO. And so it's an education process, and that's where we rely on a lot of organizations like the NC Biotech Center to help us sort of overcome that. There's also some concern about GMOs with tobacco, but a lot of that we find is educating. We've started very early working with traditional tobacco growers, making them aware of our system. It's vastly different than how you grow or produce traditional tobacco. We process it fresh, we do it at higher density, and then we harvest it with a chopper. It looks like shredded lettuce, so it's very hard to mistake for traditional tobacco. We also find that clean tech has been a little bit tarnished. I think part of that is, even though there's been great advances, we fall a little bit victim to this too, where we say, oh, 2 or 3 years. But you have to also keep in mind that when RFS came out, you had the Great Recession. So in a way, you tied the industry's arms behind its back, but set these goals for it to achieve. And so I think we're starting to emerge out of that as well. Some of the significant milestones that we've been able to achieve is just continuing to build out our IP. We do that a lot with our own in-house research, but also working with some key university partners. You saw mentioned Virginia Tech, NC State, Old Dominion University. Doing that, we've been able to significantly increase the sugar and oils in our plants and the amount of biomass we physically get per acre. Working with Sam Brake and through their generous grant, we had some major milestones in growing our tobacco and harvesting it in an automated fashion, which significantly lowers the biomass production costs. So again, this is nothing like your father's tobacco. We've also been very successful in working with hog farming industry, specifically Smithfield Food, looking for alternatives for crops on their spray fields, but also looking at some of the products we produce, like our proteins for their feed rations and our biochar for some of their remediation programs. And as I mentioned, we also are looking at end users for our sugars. One of them is a partner company, which is called Tyton NC Biofuels in Rayford, North Carolina, which is a Gen 1 55 million gallon per year ethanol biorefinery. It's running now on corn. We'll be running on of our tobacco sugars, but we're also looking at producing other products other than ethanol. And lastly, we are fundraising, and we're trying a new ag platform that is here to sort of promote the ag tech industry, and we're very pleased to be part of that effort. So that's us in a nutshell. I look very much forward to meeting all of you at the networking event, not the cocktail hour, and answering any questions you may have. Thanks. 30 seconds.